Hello and welcome to ABC Unified School District's video on instructional coaching. Today we will be discussing three topics: the importance of building relationships with adult learners, how to build rapport with adult learners, and how to give effective feedback to adult learners. Before moving forward, it is important to understand that the term teacher and adult learners will be interchanged throughout this video. It is important to make sure that teachers, as adult learners, find relevance in the material that they are being taught in order to construct new knowledge. If instructional coaches do not take time to learn about the needs of the teachers and of the school, it will be difficult to find the relevance in the material being taught. In addition to making the material relevant to teachers, the instructional coach needs to make sure that the teachers understand the role of the instructional coach. When building rapport with teachers, it is important for teachers to understand that the instructional coach is not there as a spy for the administration, but rather to provide meaningful feedback for teachers and research ways to help improve the school as a whole. In this segment of the video, I will be inviting Mr. Berger to join us. I will be acting as an instructional coach, and Mr. Berger will be acting as a teacher to demonstrate effective ways to build rapport between instructional coaches and adult learners. Hey, Mr. Berger, how's your day going so far?
Hi, Mrs. Lewis. My day is going very well, thank you.
Great. I'm so glad to hear your year is getting off to a great start. Remember, if you have any questions or any ways that I can help you, you're more than welcome to stop by my office or send me a quick email. In this first scene, Mrs. Lewis and Mr. Berger are demonstrating that an instructional coach should have a designated place where teachers can go if they have questions or to receive assistance from the instructional coach. Hello, Mr. Berger. Are you ready for our staff meeting on Monday morning? We will be discussing different ways to incorporate technology into our classroom.
No, I completely forgot. Thank you for reminding me, though. This week, I tried out a new feature of Quizlet Live that allows you to use diagrams as a study tool. Would you mind if I share a quick presentation with the staff?
Not at all. That actually reminds me, I need to send out an email to the rest of the staff to remind them what our staff meeting is going to be about on next week. Do you think that you could keep your presentation to under 5 minutes so that other teachers can present? We already have a couple of other teachers that have volunteered to present. This scene demonstrates the importance of communicating with the adult learners and also ensuring that they are aware of the topics being discussed at staff meetings ahead of time. It allows staff members to be prepared for meaningful discussions during staff meetings. During this scene, the instructional coach will be explaining the observation process to the teacher. Feedback will be given in two ways throughout the observation. First, the instructional coach will give feedback directly based upon the teacher's needs. Secondly, the instructional coach will fill out a yes or no checklist to quickly observe if the teacher is performing tasks needed to meet the school's instructional learning goals. However, within the checklist, there is also space for feedback within each item to give positive or constructive feedback. Both types of feedback will be returned to the teacher within 24 hours so that the teacher is able to reflect upon the lesson with feedback in hand. Good morning, Mr. Berger. Thank you for coming and letting me observe your class this morning. Just a reminder that I will just be observing your lesson to look for successful strategies that you're implementing in the classroom. Are there any parts of your lesson that you'd like me to pay close attention to help you improve your teaching strategies, such as maybe behavior issues or transition time?
Good morning, Mrs. Lewis. I appreciate you coming and observing my class. This is a lesson that I've taught a few times over the past few years, but in this year's class, I'm concerned about behavior problems with a few of my students. Can you watch these students to see if they have any, or if you have any suggestions on how to keep them on task?
Absolutely. And during the lesson, do you mind if I walk around, or would you like me to sit quietly in the back of the classroom?
When I'm doing direct instruction, I would appreciate if you stayed in the back. But when the students are working in groups, you may walk around and see how they work.
Sounds great. I will also be filling out a checklist so that I can give you constructive feedback on your lesson. You can see here that there are yes and no columns. So I can quickly check off to see whether or not I see an action. But underneath each action, there's also room for written feedback. I should have your feedback either in your box or to your email within about 24 hours.
Thank you so much. I cannot wait to learn new strategies and get a few of my students back on task. Can I email you if I have any additional questions?
Absolutely. My job is to help improve student success, and with that goes improve teaching practices. Email me with any questions you might have, but I should be back in about 1 month to follow up in person.